All right. So
Okay.
how's it going?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. How about you?
Pretty good. Um, so yeah, we missed you yesterday. Alex sat in. We did our
Oh,
show.
good. Nice. Glad he was able to fill in.
Yeah, it went pretty well.
You guys do the WandaVision preview then? Or not preview, but recap?
Yeah, we did. And hey, we got our first listener. How's it going, man? We're talking WandaVision. We're talking Star Wars. I might have said man, but it could be a woman too. Either way.
Well, his name is Larry Hart, so I
Oh,
would
okay.
say you're right in assuming
Yeah,
it.
probably.
But
Although I hate
yeah,
assuming.
well,
How'd you like
it was pretty.
WandaVision?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought episode 3 was better than 4 just because I didn't feel like 4 told me that much that I didn't already assume. It kind of just like confirmed most of what everybody was thinking, I feel like, Um,
Right.
but it was pretty cool to kind of see more about Sword and everything. What's interesting to learn that Monica Rambeau's mother did die, which is pretty, I believe, happened in the comics, so not too surprising, I guess. But no, overall, good episodes. I always like seeing Jimmy Woo and everything. I think he's a pretty funny guy. I have my opinions about the character Darcy Lewis, but she wasn't too bad. Sometimes she can be a little much.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought that you liked Kat Dennings.
I wouldn't say
I don't know if we
particularly.
talked about her before. No?
I
Okay.
feel like she was pretty good in the Door movies, but outside of that, I usually feel like she can be a little annoying. But I thought she was pretty good in this episode.
I could see that, yeah. Someone had said that it might be fun to see like a series with Darcy and Jimmy, almost like a buddy cop
Uh,
type thing. I think it could be fun, maybe.
it wouldn't be the top of my priority list for Marvel shows, that's for sure.
I mean,
No,
overall, I really liked the episode.
no, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think, yeah, I mean, every episode you see more things about the hexagon and what exactly that'll mean and everything. I think I saw Jimmy Woo right on the board about why it's all the hexagons and everything like that
Yeah,
of all his theories. And his questions are basically the same ones that we have. um, but I haven't listened to your guys' episode, you and Alex, but I
just put
assume
it
you
up
guys.
right now on YouTube.
Oh, okay, nice. I assume you guys talk about how all the reports of the people in the town. You guys talk about that?
We did, and so for anyone listening on like anyone tuning in to re-listen to our show right now, they can go in my bio and they can go to our podcast on YouTube or Spotify and check that out. But yeah, we did talk about that, and yeah, really interesting how they pretty much narrowed down everybody as far as the actors, except for Agnes and Dottie.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. So the few questions I have coming out of the episode is there seems to be like 8 people in the town or something, but so obviously that's not enough people to fill an entire town. So where are the rest of the people that used to be in the town now that we know it was Eastview? And then who was the original missing person that Monica was trying to find? Did you guys talk about that and have any theories on that?
We didn't talk about that too much. Um, I mean, the bigger story is that no one can say that Westview is an actual place. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
yeah, I did listen to some speculation on that, and someone had said that maybe Dottie, it could be Dottie or one of our town members.
I could definitely see that. I mean, just because they have missing profiles doesn't necessarily mean they're the bad guy. I did think it was pretty interesting in episode 3 how Herb seemed to fear
I was just
Monica.
about to say that. Yeah,
Yeah, which doesn't make sense if he's just a normal civilian trying to get out of this hell in like she's obviously an agent, government agent. You think he would trust her, but so that, I mean, is a little suspicious to me. But I think, yeah, next episode when we get back to Wanda and Vision's life, I think that'll be really good.
What do you think about the scene where Wanda throws her through the buildings? I was talking to Alex and I was just telling him, I mean, I'm wondering, does she already have her powers at this point? Because, going through all those brick buildings and then through the force field, like, normal person would probably die.
Yeah, I did kind of think that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they made it where a normal person lived through that just because it's TV. Like, I mean, I wouldn't, it's not always perfectly realistic what a human can take. Um, but I did find that a little bit strange. I did like that we saw when she entered the sword facility, her mother's nameplate, and it said her nickname Photon, which she later becomes the superhero Photon. So that was a nice call forward, I guess. But no,
Yeah.
I'm still kind of holding on that it's possible she got her powers when Wanda started messing with her. I guess we can probably see in the next episode or two, because it seems like even though Wanda has taken over Westview, it's clear now that whatever happens in there, it still exists when they leave the force field. Because like when they had the sword agent go through the tunnel, um, they pulled back up his rope and had turned into like the jump rope, and so it still
Yeah.
stayed that way outside of the zone. So it was interesting to see that she wasn't just influencing people's minds on how they perceive what's going on. She actually controls the reality of it, which I thought was pretty cool.
It's interesting going back to Monica for a minute that, like, she does look like she's hurt when she's laying down in the field, but she also doesn't look like too bruised up or anything.
No, she didn't. Yeah, you're right. She didn't look that bad. I don't know what's going to happen with her character. I mean, I assume she'll come back in a way. I don't think she'll just be in a hospital this entire time, but it'll be interesting to see.
I was talking to Alex also about just again some speculation on how they could introduce the X-Men, and I was kind of hoping that, like, at the beginning when she meets up with the sword director, that maybe they could be like walking through the halls and, like, in one of the rooms, see like one of the mutants.
Oh,
I think that
yeah.
that'd be cool. It would have been like really cool to like see Beast, because supposedly he's supposed to be a part of Sword in the comics.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I think these would be cool. We've seen it's hard for like these kinds of X-Men, like the super popular ones. I mean, we've seen multiple beasts at this point. It's like I'm kind of like sick of seeing Beast, and I don't really want to be a new actor. But what are the odds they get the same actor back? One thing I did find interesting about that episodes was that it takes place over only a few days. Like it appears as though they're living a decade a day, as far as the TV episodes. So I thought it was pretty cool just to see the pace at which they're going. It was cool to see that everything they're watching is exactly what we have seen. So we know all that the sword agents know, basically.
Well, that's a good point that you bring up, because Alex and I were talking about that as well, and he mentioned that there were like a few scenes that we didn't see in our episodes, which I
Oh,
didn't
okay,
really
yeah.
count. And
I didn't catch that
it
either.
wasn't
I'd have
much,
to look at it.
but he was saying something about Monica like reading the newspaper and like Wanda like walking through town.
Oh,
Nothing,
okay.
nothing big, but he got the impression that there could be more episodes, or there's supposed to be more episodes in the series, but we're just getting the important stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. It almost looked like it was rebroadcasting like the same episode on that day or something. But it's kind of interesting to see exactly how all the time works out. But it definitely was only a few days time since they've all been there.
Did you have anything else that really stood out about this episode?
No, I think those were the big things. Obviously, the thing with Vision missing his stone was cool to see. Um, but
Kind of scary, huh?
it's yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, is that what he's actually like, and she's like basically
I
controlling
think
him,
so.
or did she actually recreate him? Because we still have that scene from the initial trailer of the show. Well, it was like one of the later trailers before the show came out, that it looked like she was actually recreating the Mind Stone. So maybe at this point she hasn't recreated it. She's just creating a reality. But for him to permanently exist, she needs to recreate the Mind Stone. And maybe in doing so, screws something terribly wrong up. Maybe that's kind of the plots of Agatha or Mephisto, that they're trying to get her to recreate the Mind Stone and then take it and use it for whatever they're doing. I don't know. It's a thought.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I also noticed too, and you probably did also, like, she kind of scares herself when she turns around and sees him like that, and she like looks down and closes her eyes, and then when she opens them back up, he's back to being normal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like sort of like a multiple personality thing where she's trying to convince herself that this is real, and little things are bringing her back to actual reality, and she's kind of trying to push that out of her head as much as she can.
I still think that Hydra could definitely be behind it as well.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of calls to Hydra. It'll be interesting to see how they're really aligned. You would think that they would have to have some sort of super on their team, whether it be Agatha or Mephisto or something like that. I don't. Just a normal person really couldn't do much to Wanda, you know.
I'm really surprised that there's that scene where Darcy's watching the show and then she's talking to Jimmy and she's like, "Oh, yeah, it's nothing. Never mind." And then she starts to see the Hydra commercial or the Strucker watch commercial. And like I was just surprised that she didn't find that important. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I hear that. It's it seems like they're all kind of being nonchalant about the show. Like the only ones watching it really were her and Jimmy. You'd think like everybody would be glued to that, but I don't know. Maybe I mean they're sword agents. I guess they probably see a lot of crazy stuff, but I don't know.
I'm pretty excited to see more from Sword. I think they're pretty cool. I think it could
Yeah,
definitely
I
be
think
like
it'll.
Shield 2.0.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, did you guys talk about the director at all? Is he from Agents of Shield? I couldn't remember it exactly. Is he from something?
I'm not sure. No, we didn't really talk about him.
Okay, I could have sworn he was in Agents of Shield, but I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've seen the earlier seasons of that show, but I think he was pretty cool for the most part. Obviously, he's not as cool as a director as like Fury or Coulson or somebody like that, but I think he could definitely have a huge role in upcoming shows and movies. I mean, Sword seems to be a huge point to all of this. I mean, it's for all these cosmic powers and everything with Eternals coming in and everything. You think that Sword would be on the case for that for sure.
Oh yeah, that's true. And maybe we'll see Sword in Falcon and Winter Soldier as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. It seems like it's pretty publicly known, um, like as an entity, whereas I feel Shield was more sort of underground behind the scenes. But now that
Yeah.
the Avengers and the events of Thanos are taking place, they kind of need to be that presence as really the face of kind of the protection against those people. But yeah,
For
Sword
sure.
was cool. I did see a few things about the Sword facility. It's the same facility that they filmed in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, where it used to be a Shield facility, and then it was also in the show Agents of Shield, in an alternate reality where Hydra took over basically, and then it was the Hydra base in the show, and now we see it as the Swords in this show. So it was pretty cool just to
Oh,
see
okay.
this same place over and over again, just in different ways.
Yeah, totally. Looks like we got another listener. If you guys want to talk about WandaVision, feel free to send in a message. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty crazy episode. Definitely was different, didn't have like the same nostalgia, like sitcom feel that we had before. Um, I don't know. In some ways, maybe that's why I liked it more, even though I do like what they're doing overall. This is probably my favorite episode, though.
Really, I think I liked episode three better. I
Yeah.
definitely do like the sitcom part, and not that I have anything against the side characters like Monica or anything, but obviously the Wanda and Vision are the face of the show, so it'll be good kind of to move things along. Whereas this was kind of like what's been going on at up until this point.
Yeah, definitely. Well, do you have any more theories about next week?
Man, it is so up in the air. I'll just be really interested to see how many years have gone by. If we've gone a decade, like it has basically been every episode, then that means they'll have 2 10-year-olds running around. So I don't know. It'll be pretty cool. I wonder
They're
what
going to
kind of
the 80s,
style it'll
right?
be. Yeah, it'll be 80s. So thinking more of like, man, what are 80s sitcoms? I don't know. I wasn't around in the 80s.
I don't know either, off the top of my head. I'm sure I've probably
I
seen something.
right. Let's like I googled 80s sitcoms. Looks like Facts of Life, Pains, Family Ties, sort of thing. Oh, I think it's gonna be the Full House episode actually,
Oh, okay.
which is pretty funny because
Ever
obviously,
Everyone likes Full
Eliz-
House, right?
yeah, and it's funny to see uh, Elizabeth Olsen in it
Yes.
because her twin sisters were in Full House, and now she has twins and is playing a Full House knockoff, basically.
Okay, some irony there.
Yeah, so yeah, I believe that should be the next episode according to like the timeline. And I believe there was a screenshot of that time, the 80s, where she kind of has like the bigger hair and was wearing like a plaid flannel thing, kind of from that time period.
I'm wondering if that scene that we see in the trailers where, um, Wanda says, "This is our home," and Vision says, "Then let's fight for it." Like, and like, there's that build up, and it looks like they're gonna be fighting people like outside their house or something, like in the streets. I'm wondering if that's like towards the end of the series.
Yeah,
What
it's
do you think?
interesting. I was kind of trying to base it off of like their clothes, like what time period it is. I believe in that scene, Wanda's wearing sweatpants, so it's kind of hard to say. Um, so yeah, I do feel like it's a little bit towards the end of the series. I don't know how far. Um, and we didn't really get to see like what their plan was next. The episode kind of ended where the last one did, where Monica gets shot out. So where they go
Right.
moving forward, I'm not sure what their plan is. Because obviously trying to sneak in there isn't working. So are they going for like full frontal assault? I mean, what's with their next option, you know?
Yeah, and it's interesting how Monica says at the end, it's Wanda, it's all Wanda, and then Wanda's saying, telling Vision that, he doesn't have to worry that she has everything under control when it definitely appears that she's losing control.
Yeah, definitely. I think yeah, we'll probably just see that more and more each episode, kind of until she hits a breaking point.
Yeah, are you still thinking it's going to be Mephisto at this point, or what's your
I mean,
thoughts?
that's the most logical. We, I'll just be interested to see. Usually, Agnes, Agatha Harkness, isn't kind of on her own, doing her own thing. Um, so I think there definitely has to be some sort of entity behind this that we haven't seen yet. You know, something like a big reveal towards the end there. Um, Not necessarily that I think they're behind it in the first place. It's still too early to say that anybody is making Wanga do this. You know, it's more of just kind of they deceived her into using her own power at this point. And then what are they after? The Mind Stone? Are they after the twins? What's their goal? At least will be interesting to see.
Yeah, and on our show yesterday, we were talking about how, Mephisto kind of used the twins as like leverage into manipulating Wanda, I believe. That's kind of how the story goes. Um, and I think it'd be cool if they did a different spin on him, and like I was saying, really like utilized Hydra and having Hydra come back, and maybe Mephisto could be um, like the leader of Hydra now. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know
And
about
then
that. I don't
Hydra
know.
could be the ones that are using this leverage um, against Wanda.
It's a thought. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Hydra fan. I just feel like we've seen it
Oh,
so many
really?
times.
Okay.
I mean, if you really watched Ace of the Shield, I don't think you've seen the have you?
No,
Agents
I
of
couldn't
Shield.
really get into it. I couldn't get into it. No.
It's mostly like 8 seasons of Hydra. So at this point, after seeing it, I'm like so Hydra'd out. It's like it's the Hydra thing, you know. You cut off one head, then two more appear in its place. So obviously, it's like never ending, which I get. That's the
Maybe that's
point
why
of
I'm not tired
Hydra.
of it.
I mean, it's a little much for me. And if I remember correctly, they're kind of weird about their whole Agents of Shield thing and how it connects to everything. But until like the second to last season, they should have been in the same timeline. Um, and so how that has set up with them taking down Hydra a few different times during that timeline, um, I don't really see it having too much influence. I don't know. I mean, I don't think you could bring Red Skull back at this point, but who knows?
I was just gonna say, for our listener out there, feel free to mash that clap button, help us out with the algorithm, and send in a message if you want to become part of the conversation. Would love to hear from you. Talk to us about how you enjoyed WandaVision.
Or if you did enjoy
As
it.
Yeah, maybe you hated it. But yeah, I mean, isn't Red Skull? Isn't he just dead from
Well, he
like
was on
Endgame?
Vormir. He was just like he's dead.
Yeah,
I
he didn't die
mean,
at the end. I can't even remember.
nah, he's just like, all right, take your stone,
He's like a
and then
spirit. He's like a spirit still.
I mean, what really was he? It was really kind of up in the air what the heck he was. So the Tesseract refused him, sent him to here. He has some weird shadowy power, that's for sure. But is he like dead or what? He said his goal was to lead people to a treasure that he could not possess. So, and he did that twice, right? He did that with Thanos, and then he did that with Hawkeye. And so it's like his job done. Like there's no more Soul Stone. So does he get to leave finally? Is that like his payment? You know?
Well, let's hear from our listener. They just sent us in a message.
Oh, let's do
See
it.
what they got to say.
Oh, dang, didn't notice I was the only. Heck yeah, glad to be the first. Well, that last episode was killer for me. I think it was the best one yet. Finally bringing us into the real world. Uh, Man, that view of Dead Vision at the end, it's still sticking with me. I don't really know what to think about it, but I really hope that there's some dark, Like she's got Dead Vision's body, enchanted with her magic. I really hope that's the angle they're taking, but whew, that Dead Vision stuck with me.
Hey, we appreciate the message, man. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, that was something else. That scene with Vision, that was something else. But hey, man, if you enjoyed the show so far, Jake and I, do a podcast on YouTube, Spotify called the Starfighter Podcast, and that's in my bio or profile here on Stereo. So feel free to check that out. But yeah, again, appreciate having you. And yeah, this was my favorite. Like I was saying, this was my favorite episode so far as well. But Jake, I think you said you preferred episode 3.
Yeah, a little bit, but I do think it was very good. And yeah, you made a good point. With Wanda, we definitely saw her in episode 3 getting angry with Monica there, and then she also had that look in her eyes at the end of this when she's telling Vision that, oh, everything's fine, like that. She definitely has an evil look. I mean, you could definitely see her turning bad. Like, is she basically the villain this whole time? We're kind of assuming that there's some other bad person, or is it just Agnes trying to get her to join her and be evil together or something like that, whatever their evil plot is. But yeah, she's definitely looking scary the last few episodes.
Yeah, and there's something with Dottie too. There is.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
I'm almost
yeah,
positive. I just have a really strong feeling about it.
yeah. And hey, she does not like Dottie. She might kill her at some point. Jeez.
But you know who I could see her being? I mean, really unlikely, but it would be really cool if she played like Emma Frost.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty
From X-Men. Yeah,
unlikely, but yeah, I mean,
I don't know. She's got
who
that look with the hair and everything.
who really knows where we're going at this point with X-Men? I mean, it's almost guaranteed, I would say, at this point to be linked to this, um, to the start of just kind of pulling them into this realm. But yeah, we'll just see how they have to appear, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hey, we got another message, and also let me throw this out to our listeners. We want to talk a little bit about Star Wars too in that news, but we don't want to shift gears too soon. So I don't know if anyone's opposed to us changing it up, but we'll see. All right, I'm going to play that message.
Also, whether the Mephisto theories are real or not, the fact that they named Agnes's husband Ralph and haven't shown us that character yet is definitely Marvel pulling at the strings of the super nerds, because Ralph is Mephisto's name in human form in the comics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Jake told me that, right? You were telling me that?
Yeah, I think we mentioned it in one of our episodes. But yeah, it's I'd be shocked at this point if we didn't see him or whatever he is in the MCU. Basically, they tend to mix up a little bit where these people come from, who they exactly are, and what their powers are. But yeah, I'd be surprised if we didn't see him in some form or another by the end of this show.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, I had a great Star Wars segue also. But then our new friend just sent in that message. But when we were talking about Red Skull, and we were talking about like what he was, I was gonna be like, well, he was a Force ghost, right? And then it's like, speaking of Force ghosts, we got some Star Wars news, guys. So let's just segue. Let's just do it.
All right.
Hopefully you guys don't mind. Yeah, have you been keeping up with anything?
I mean, I see what's going on. What's the big news that's been going on? You tell me.
All right, big news. First on the list, Knights of the Old Republic 3 has been rumored. I know you were into this game. I think I was into the first one for sure for a little bit. Thought it was pretty cool. Not a huge fan of like RPG games that much, um, but that one was definitely different, and obviously just a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm down to check out whatever.
Yeah,
But
I'd
how do
say
you feel
I'm
about that?
definitely yeah, I'm definitely more of a fan of like action RPGs where it has fun combat mechanics at the same time being an RPG.
Absolutely.
Um, which I could definitely see them doing. I feel like that's sort of a new age kind of deal. There's not much more tactical RPGs anymore other than like Fire Emblem and Bravely Default. But no, that'd be really, really good game to bring out, especially at this point of time. Star Wars is just blowing up, so of course it would do super well. Um, but yeah, I tend to take video game rumors with a grain of salt. I mean, they've been telling me for years now we're getting Breath of the Wild too, so I'm still holding out for that.
Didn't we just get Breath of the Wild too?
No, never. They announced it like 2 years ago, like, oh, we're working on it, and then never
It's
said
called
another word.
Hyrule Warriors, man.
Oh, bro.
That
Okay.
was it.
Nah, nah.
Did you even like that game?
I played the first one, the majority of it, and it gets a little old just because it's hack and slash mob fights, you know. But
Yeah.
I heard Age of Calamity was really good as far as like story and everything, and that it's a lot more open. Whether than like the first one was you were basically guided on a path and just fight the enemies in the way, but this one was more. It really kind of felt like you were still playing Breath of the Wild, where you had to do like cooking and foraging and stuff like that. That made it
Right.
feel more like an RPG rather than the hack and slash.
It wasn't really for me, but that character Impa, she's really sick.
No,
Would like to see more from her.
Impa's been sick since Ocarina of Time. So
I mean, going back to Star Wars, I was gonna ask you because we were talking about like RPGs, with like more combat mechanics. Did you ever play Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles?
I have not played that one. No.
That is my favorite Final Fantasy game because it's the only one that I know of where you can mash the buttons to fight,
Oh, dude,
and it also looks really good.
Final Fantasy VII remake has good. It is action RPG, so you actually have to hit buttons to fight and everything.
Oh,
And
really?
I've Yes, and I've never seen a game that looks better than that. So if you want to talk about a good looking game, that is number one for me. It is a freaking beautiful masterpiece. I'm
It's not just
surprised you still haven't played it.
select screen, right? It's not just like the pop-up menu, right?
Nope. No, you do have a menu to like switch to like magic attacks or your swords and everything like that. So you do have a menu to switch, but your main to like hit to attack, you have to hit the whatever it is. So you still move
Okay.
around and do attacks and stuff like that, and shield and block and all of that, and dodge and stuff. So it has good mechanics like that.
Yeah, see, I would love them to bring that to the next Knights of the Old Republic if they do indeed follow through with that.
Yeah, I think something like that would be really cool. Um, just to
But it most
segue, you
likely
might.
won't be like a. Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say it most likely won't be tying into um, the last two games and like their story. It'll probably be something brand new.
Yeah, and that's fine to me. Um, I think anything just like that. I mean, those games are so popular. Um, I think it would just be good no matter what. And I feel like for the most part, they've been doing good with their games. Like last or Fallen Order was, it was okay. It was better than like Force Unleashed or something. But I think
I like Force
something more.
Unleashed better.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought it was a little bit better, but
I didn't like
I
the
mean,
Uncharted feel to it or of Fallen Order. I did like the game, but I don't know.
what do you got
Too
against
much puzzles
Uncharted?
for me. Nothing.
um,
I actually haven't even played it. I just knew that was it was like that in the sense that there was like more puzzles that you had to solve, and I
yeah,
don't
a
know.
little bit.
That was definitely
Um,
different for a Star Wars game.
yeah, I thought it was fun. It was way too incredibly short, but it was decent. But No, Knights of the Old Republic could be fun. What do you think about the Ubisoft's Star Wars game that they're planning on making?
Yeah, I can't remember. Is that like I thought I heard they could be doing like an underworld bounty hunter thing.
Yeah, I don't think there's been like a confirmation on what it's
Is that
about.
what it was?
I don't think I've seen anything official at this point, but no, I'm just excited for like Ubisoft to make it. I mean, there's people who like and hate Ubisoft, whatever. I don't care. They for games like Skyrim where it's free realm world games like that, I think would just be really cool for Star Wars. I mean, we haven't really had that. Like,
You saying like open world or
yeah, open world. Like Fallen Order tried to feel like that, but there really wasn't like exploring or anything like that, you know? Um,
yeah,
it's not the same. So something that's just a free open world Star Wars, I think would just be really cool.
definitely. Let's hear from our friend.
The worst part of Fallen Order was the fact that you were in small, isolated areas, and I don't know, it just felt like you were in a box. But that story really added a lot to the Order 66 storyline. I really like all the supplemental stories Star Wars fills us in through the books and the games. I think that was a great one.
I mean, thanks for that. Not to be a hater, but I feel like Kathleen Kennedy kind of puts Star Wars in a box, you know? She can't let us free. We need to,
No,
it's
yeah,
time to
I get what
kick her
you're
to the
saying
curb.
though. Yeah, it's more it's you're on a path basically. I mean, you could deviate from it, but there wasn't like things to do. You just hit a wall and be like, "Oh, I have to go do this path before I can go to that path," and that was it. The worst thing about Jedi Fallen Order was on the like with the first planet. You can see that gigantic monster like in a field, but you can't jump to him, and you'll never fight him. He's just sitting there waiting to fight, and there's zero way to reach him in the game. I thought that was super annoying.
I wish I knew like what to call our listener instead of just like RBC 619 or something like that. Like, unless there's some kind of like acronym there that I'm just not getting. Maybe he can help us out with a easy name. Because
RPC.
I'm assuming he's gonna tune in to our stereo shows all the time. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
It's Rob, guys. And oh yeah, sorry about
That makes
ruining
sense.
your transition there before.
Oh, no, no worries. No worries. I wasn't looking
all
close
right.
enough. I couldn't see that it was Rob. We appreciate that, man. Uh, Glad you're sticking around and you enjoy Star Wars as well. But as far as open world games go, we do have one of those, Jake. I
Hmm.
believe it is called the Lego Star Wars Saga.
That's not an open world. Are you kidding me?
I thought that they said it was going to be pretty open world.
Well, if it's anything like the past games, it's not open world.
It's not going to be like the past games. They said they're completely redoing it. They said that there's going
Okay.
to be tons of planets and tons of um like ships that you can explore, and that they're just going to be like massive.
I'd be down for that.
And actually, Lego Star Wars was on the list of topics for today. But we have two messages. You wanna hit a couple of those, Jake?
Let's do it.
I believe you have access as well.
I think
Yeah.
they said that some of it's going to be open world and some of it's going to be like the typical levels.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Okay.
Open world would definitely be more fun. Let's see what the other dude has to say.
Don't do that to us, Lego. All you do is press square in that game.
I mean, it's fun. Lego is fun. I'll give you that, but it does get a little old, and it's not that challenging. So I think mixing it up would be pretty good.
Very clicky clacky, as they say.
Yeah, basically. But I do have to think that the open world Ubisoft one is going to be my favorite right now. Currently, the game I'm playing is Immortal Phoenix Rising. Have you heard of it?
I have heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's by Ubisoft also. And it's a super fun game. I mean, it doesn't have the most amazing graphics or anything, but the story is really good. I do like the combat and everything, and the open world is really nice. So if they just did something like that, but instead of Greek mythology, make it Star Wars, I think it'd be awesome.
You playing that on PS5 or you playing that on the
On the
Switch?
PS5.
Gotcha. We got
Yeah,
another message.
do it.
You guys are awesome. Mash that clap button, guys. If you make the fire, if you start the fire up, helps the algorithm and helps us keep going with our show.
All right, what's he got to say?
There you go. There you go.
They also said they're going to expand on Finn's story. Rip John Boyega.
Yes, this is exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. That is what we were going to talk about as well. And so the backlash here is it's like they should have expanded on his story, you know, a long time ago, and they should have capitalized more on it in Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. They really did him dirty. There's no question about it.
Yeah,
But how do you
I
feel
don't think
about
it
this
was.
idea about them like adding? They said that they're going to add more to his story inside the Lego game.
I mean, yeah, I didn't like his character. I didn't feel like it was necessarily his fault, but no, I didn't like his
No, no.
character at all. And I mean, there was very few characters I liked in the sequels. So I don't know. I mean, stop trying to retcon your movies in a Lego game. Like you got to put out good work and stand by it. Like I feel like that's partially what Mandalorian's doing, like trying to explain where Palpatine came from and everything. How about you explain it in the movies so people aren't confused and think this is all stupid, and instead just make sense the first time, you know?
Yeah, like how about you make Rose Tico your leading character, and like make her a Jedi.
Sure, yeah. What's this guy got to
make her
say?
make Rose
The
the
real
chosen one.
heartbreaker is the game that wasn't developed from CD Projekt Red. They were the developers of The Witcher. They had the full open world Star Wars game going that was just canceled. But honestly, after Cyberpunk, we might have gotten lucky on that one, but it did sound interesting.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think that would be cool, and I think a development company like that would probably put out a higher quality, and a more graphically detailed game. But yeah, if it's something like Cyberpunk where it's glitchy and not as fun as it could be, I'd rather it be more cartoony with the graphics like Ubisoft does a lot, you know? I mean, not even cartoony, it just needs to be like good, but not anything amazing. I mean, let's just focus on making a good open world game with not having like an empty world, like I've heard that sort of other games like Witcher and Skyrim have compared to others. Just a lot of side missions, a lot of cool things to do, you know, just a bunch of callbacks to movies and shows and games, and just put out a high quality product would be nice.
Yeah, so you're excited for Lego Star Wars a little bit? Like you plan on getting that?
I cannot bring myself to spend $60 on a Lego game. I don't know. There's something about it. But it is one of those things where it usually goes on sale like 3 or 4 months after its release. It's one of those kind of deals. But I will get it eventually to play for sure.
I'm excited about it.
I mean,
I think it'll be cool.
if it has like online co-op, that'd be super cool.
Yeah, I hope so. I did have a random question about another game, Jake. Not to get too off topic, but I know you're really into anime, and there's this soccer game on the Switch. I'll just ask you about it real quick, and then we'll get back. But it's called like Captain something. You probably know what I'm talking about, but it's like a anime soccer game. I'm wondering if you know if it's good because it looks pretty cool.
Oh, Captain Tsubasa.
Yes.
I
Have you played
I
it?
actually don't know. I have not played it. I haven't seen too much about it. It's pretty under the radar. Um, but I don't it'd be worth checking out. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
look kind of cool.
I mean, I haven't played a soccer game since Mario Strikers, but that game was fun.
Dude, I love Mario Strikers. They should make like a Star Wars soccer game. That'd be sick.
Why? Oh my gosh.
Well, hey, that they made a PlayStation like Street Fighter, Star Wars Street Fighter game for the
Oh yeah,
PlayStation 1, and that
forgot
was
about
awesome.
that.
All right, here we go with our message.
Man, though, hate to derail you guys. Finn got screwed. I mean, from the beginning, having a stormtrooper flip sides to become a Jedi would have been a sick story. You could have even had Rey flip sides in Rise of Skywalker, and he could have been the last Jedi. I don't know. There's so many better ways to go about that whole thing, but that's what no plan gets you.
Yeah, you really hit the nail on the head there because that's the big problem is they just did not have a solid plan all the way through ABC. They just let it go whichever way the director wanted it, and they didn't. I mean, the plan just wasn't there, and it's awful. I mean, I enjoy some parts of the sequels, but it's just undeniable that without that plan, it really falls flat. And yeah, I would have really liked to have seen Finn become a Jedi. I mean, like a stormtrooper becoming a Jedi, like that's a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool like story arc that they could have done. And honestly, I feel like they kind of teased that a little bit with like some of the trailers in The Force Awakens. But how do you feel about it, Jake?
Um, it definitely would have made his character better. They had just like, I don't know, there was just a lot going on that they didn't like talk about it. Like, oh, you're a stormtrooper, and then they kind of forget about it. Like, we don't know anything about these characters very much, and so just having a bland character that you have no attachment to because you don't know anything about them, doesn't make for the best of movies.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Mayfeld in The Mandalorian was a much better story than Finn's.
It's fair. Yeah, I think they kind of pushed Finn into like a hero role instead of just like not being evil. Whereas Mando just kind of does what Mando wants, and same with um, Fennec. But yeah, it's none of those characters really stuck with me. I mean, I can't even say who my favorite sequel character is because I didn't think any of them were very good.
Another shameless plug. Jake and I on the Starfighter podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. We break down the Mandalorian episodes. Have a great time doing it. Those are some great shows, and yeah, I think Mandalorian. We both said that was our favorite to come out of 2019. Our favorite like TV series, or just basically entertainment.
For sure.
And yeah, I mean, I think it was like episode 7, season 1 of Mando. Um, I don't know. I was kind of like, I could take him or leave him with Mayfield, but the last episode he was in, with Boba Fett, and then him and Din Djarin are breaking into that facility. He was really really good, and so yeah, I would honestly like to see him more, maybe in next season, but not really thinking we'll see him next time.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's all I really had for news. If you guys want to keep sending in some questions or things that you're excited about in the world of Star Wars, hit us up with that, and we'll keep going for a little bit. If Jake still has time. And then one other thing, how are you doing on time, Jake?
I got a few minutes.
Okay. And then one other thing I was gonna mention was that we're supposed to play some Jedi Academy online one of these days.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that for sure.
Yeah, but that would be really fun. Got another
For
message.
What show are you guys most excited for that's coming up with that they announced the Disney investor stuff?
Great question, Jake. And then we'll get to
Yeah,
our.
I think when we talked about this after the Disney investor announcements, we did have a really awesome like 2 hour show with my brother and then Alex, who was great. But I think if I remember, my top one was going to be Loki, just because that trailer kind of blew me away. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if they meant Star Wars, but then what for Star Wars, we also did an episode on that. Again, guys, go and subscribe on our YouTube channel to the Starfighter podcast. We have some great episodes. We did one on Investors Day for Marvel, as well as the Star Wars releases. But Jake, what was your number one on the list for new Star Wars movies and shows coming out?
Oh, by far, the Obi-Wan show. Like, I mean, there's nothing about that. But yeah, I think the number two, the name is blanking on me, right? Oh, the Acolyte, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that one. I mean, we don't know much about it, but it sounded crazy from the description. But I got to go with Obi-Wan just from what I know about it. I just know it's going to be great. So,
yeah, I think I told you he's pretty much become my favorite character. He's just so awesome. And let's see. Yeah, I think Obi-Wan's first on my list too. And then I might say Acolyte as well, although I am really looking forward to the Ahsoka series. And yeah, I'm wondering how that's going to play out. I'm really thinking that what they're going to do is have Thrawn be in Ahsoka. That I think we kind of get that impression from the episode that we saw her in Mando season 2. And I'm also assuming that they're going to go after, or they're going to find Ezra, right?
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I'd say Ahsoka shows, if it goes in that direction, which I think it will, that would be higher on my list than even Mandalorian season 3, just because I really like Thrawn and Ezra from Rebels and everything like that. So it'd be really cool to see them in live action and where they are now and everything. I think that has a lot to offer.
But you know what, bro? We're actually not far from what is it? I just had it. The Clone Wars show or the Bad
Oh,
Batch.
Bad
Yeah, we're
Batch.
not far away
Yeah,
from
yeah.
that. Yeah. What is
Oh,
that?
yeah.
I think it's just in like a couple of weeks or something.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, it's flying by. I mean, dude, this whole month is flown by. I can't believe it's still like February, 2 days.
Hey, our listeners right now, you guys are awesome. Thanks a lot. We're going to get to more of the questions. Let us know what shows you're looking forward to and why. And are you looking forward to Bad Batch coming up? Would really like to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
All right, guys, last one for you. Out of the announced Star Wars Disney Plus shows, what are you guys most excited for?
Hey, we already answered that. There we go.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Rob. What are you excited about? If you're sticking around, let us know.
Wow, basically same question. Sorry.
Yep, there we go. All right, next.
I'll hit you guys up on YouTube. Thanks for having this talk. Appreciate it. Y'all got me through the rest of my shift. Y'all have a good night.
All right, thanks,
Hey,
man.
you're awesome, Rob.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I think I'm most excited for Bad Batch just because I'm a huge Clone Wars fan, but I can easily be swayed, I guess. The trailer was really awesome for that one.
Connor, follow us on YouTube. We're gonna do a series called Uncovering the Clone Wars, and yeah, that's definitely one of our favorite shows as well. Definitely have a lot of anticipation for Bad Batch and everything that's going to go on around that time with Order 66.
Yo, for sure. Definitely.
Well, I don't know, man. Are we wrapping things up?
Let's wrapping things up. Hey, unless you want to talk about buying some dog coin, you into that?
What are you talking about?
All of the listeners out there, this show is sponsored by Dog Coin. Go out there,
Is it?
get all you can get, because that would help
I
me
have
with
no
all the
idea what that is. I also didn't know we had a sponsor yet.
It is
Going from
cryptocurrency. So it's like
going from
Bitcoin,
0 to 100 right now.
except it's the Doge meme. So it's Dogecoin. It sounds stupid, but
Yeah,
but I
just a
have
little bit.
I have some money in that. I won't say how much, but hey guys, help me get out of the red. That would be nice.
I hope someone knows what you're talking about.
Oh,
But
dude, I are you living under a rock? How do you not know? You know about GameStop and all that, right?
oh yeah, a little bit, yeah. Um,
Yeah, so it's like GameStop, AMC are blowing up on the stock market, and then the cryptocurrency side, Dogecoin.
okay. But speaking of Bitcoin, I was gonna tell you, I meant to text you last night, but my wife and I watched Ready Player One for the first time because I don't know, it just that was something that we wanted to see, and then I don't know, kind of just fell off my radar because I heard it was just eh. And I don't know, I think we both enjoyed it for the most part. Um,
Yeah.
the graphics were a lot better than I thought they were going to be. I'll tell you that.
hmm No, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I can see why some people didn't like it. I felt it was a little cheesy at times and stuff like that, but I
Yeah.
enjoyed it for the most part, for sure. Um, I do like that kind of stuff a lot. I mean, it's basically like the anime Sword Art Online where or they're put in a video game, like full dive virtual reality, basically. So stuff like that's cool. Hopefully one day we'll be able to experience that. But no, I think just stuff like that. I mean, I love video games so much, so anything that's about video games is gonna be cool.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool show or movie. I was impressed for the most part, and I can't remember the actor's name. Is if it's Mad Mikkelsen, I think that might be what it is. But he's always playing these bad guys. I think he's the same guy I'm thinking of in Rogue One.
Okay, yeah, that's that sounds right. The bad guy actor.
I know you love Rogue One too.
That sounds so lame, but that's a topic for
Dude,
another
that's
day.
what I want. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do on here too. Is we can have some of our Star Wars debates, talk about stuff we agree on, stuff we disagree on, have some fun
No, for
debates.
sure. Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll definitely do this thing again.
Yeah, it's been cool. I mean, this is your first stereo show. This is my second time doing stereo. We had some awesome listeners too.
Sweet, yeah. No, I like it. It's fun to hear everybody and everything like that. So pretty cool.
Well, Jake, do you want to close us out? You got anything you want to plug?
Well, hey, if you're not into Dogecoin, buy AMC stock. How about that? Dude, that has just been my life for the past few days, but it's fun. It's fun, that's for sure.
You're gonna have to text me. I don't know, some link or something if I need to get in, if I need to get on this bandwagon.
Oh, dude, for sure. Yeah. Well, all I've been doing basically this weekend is playing Smash Bros. So I have a little bit of winnings to put into my stock.
Nice. I haven't been
Yeah,
playing
dude.
much Smash lately. I've been working on some new music.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, yeah, and that's been good. It's been good.
Nice. Yeah, dude. I've been grinding away so hard. I actually won. I won tournaments 3 days in a row now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's been going
That's
pretty
sick,
good.
dude.
Yeah, dude, it was so funny last night. My brother and I entered tournaments. It was just like this really random one. It was like super late at night, and we're like, all right, let's go for it. There's not going to be very many people in it. Why not? And we show up thinking it's a legit tournament, right? And they are playing best of one games, right? Best of one items on any stage you want. What are you guys doing? And there was best of one. And I'm like, are you kidding me? One game to decide my fate with items on?
Back in the car. We're out of here.
And I'm like, yeah, and it was online too, and it was so freaking laggy. They had like 5 spectators in the arena, and it was
Oh, it was
so
online.
laggy and terrible. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing here? I mean, it was free to enter, and there was some decent pot, so I'm like, I guess I'll just play with it. But oh my gosh. But these dudes, there's like 3 dudes who are streaming it, right? So we're watching it on stream, and they're just like high as a kite, right? They think all of this is like amazing and so cool when somebody gets hit with a home run bat. It's like, that's not cool at all. It's lame. And then I lost my first game. I ended up winning like 6 in a row to win the thing. And the dude I beat in grand finals was livid. He's like, "Are you kidding me? You're playing best of 1 in a set. It's supposed to be best 3 out of 5." And these guys are like, "Well, we read the rules. It's Evo rules." And we're like, "Evo rules?"
That is not Evo rules.
So these guys are like so high. I don't think they understand the difference between a set and a game.
But you won?
Yeah, dude, I won.
Nice.
Yeah, I won $60. I mean, I was pretty happy about it.
Okay.
And my brother placed third. He got like $15. I'm like, hey, it was not the worst way to spend a night, even though it was really ridiculous and random.
Nice. I want to play Austin sometime.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Also, if he has Jedi Academy, that'd be cool.
No,
for all
yeah,
3 of us.
Yeah,
dude. Let's set it up.
Maybe
this week or something, or next week.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to schedule something. But yeah, that was my week, full of Dogecoin and Smash tournaments.
I don't know. That sounds so funny.
I'll get you in on it. I mean, if you like cryptocurrency in the stock market, now is the time, man. It's going crazy.
I don't know if I like it or not. I guess we might just have to find out.
All right, we'll see. But
all right, but
I've got going on.
I think that's going to do it for us here today. Thank you to our listeners again. Shameless plug. Dom and Jake, we host the Starfighter podcast every week. Right now we're doing WandaVision spoiler reviews. Our newest one is up right now with my friend Alex. And we also talk a lot about Star Wars stuff. And those are Jake's dogs. Hey, thanks for the claps. Thanks for the fire.
Oh my gosh, guys, shut up. All right.
All right, on that note, we're out.
All right, dog coin to the moon. Let's go. All right, see ya, man.
See ya.